Today, we have a special guest from Brazil. His name is Arley. He's a chemical engineering student. So, hello, Arley. Welcome to the
Hello,
Billion Inside
hi.
podcast.
Hello everyone.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Arley. I'm a chemical engineering student. I live in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. I have 24 years old.
You live in Rio.
Yes. And from my house you can see the Cristo Redeemer. It's very near. I'm born in Rio and I live here for all my life. Actually, I was born in a favela from Rio. Now I live in a better place. I'm a student and I'm almost graduating myself. So now I work and study. So now I live in the center of Rio. It's a very beautiful place to live. It's the nature and all the summer. It's a tropical country, so we have a lot of trees and a lot of nature around the city. But we have the problem of the criminality. We have a lot of robbers in Rio, but it's a good place to live.
So, how many languages your country people can speak?
Normally, we only speak Portuguese. Only a small portion of the population speak in English and other languages like Spanish. Actually, some places in the world they think we speak Spanish. But the Portuguese is not identical to Spanish. Like we are in the midway of Italian Spanish. We can understand almost everything in Spanish, but only when they talk slowly because the accent is very different and the words it's changed a little bit.
Do normal Brazilian people they can understand English?
Just a small part of the population. Like I speak English because I talk with some friends from other countries and I play and watch a lot of movies in English. So I know a little bit of English and a little bit of another languages, but I'm not the common citizen from Brazil to understand, not common to talk in English here.
You didn't study English in your school, right?
Yes, I studied all my life in public schools. Now I am in a federal university, but we have classes of Spanish and English, but it's just very basics. You can't talk in English or Spanish with the classes of the school.
So, Arley, could you say hello and how are you and nice to meet you in Portuguese?
Of course. Hello, it's olá.
Mhm.
How are you? It's como você está? Você in Portuguese, it's you. Oh, and nice to meet you. Prazer em te conhecer. And in Portuguese, thank you, it's obrigado.
Hola is common with Spanish also, right? In Spanish.
Olá.
Yeah.
It sounds similar because in Portuguese we say olá. Olá to hola. It's very similar.
So it is hola in Spanish is hola, right?
Yes, and in Spanish you type, you say hola, and in Portuguese we say olá. These both languages are derivative from Latin, so they have very similarities.
And bye is also ciao ciao, right?
Ciao. Yes, it's like Italian. Italian you say ciao too.
So in Portuguese it is also ciao, or is it different?
We normally say ciao. It's the same in Italian. In Spanish, they normally say bye bye or hasta luego. In Portuguese, we have similarities. We can say até logo. It's the equivalent to hasta luego. Technically, it's the same, but we have different accents. So some person like you, we don't understand Portuguese. Maybe looks different. I don't know.
What is like living in Brazil, especially the Rio? Can you say any interesting things from there?
Interesting things of Rio. Rio, it's a very mountain place, so we have a lot of mountains and forests. If you visit the city, you're gonna see cliffs around the state, like the Cristo Redeemer, the Pão de Açúcar. In Rio we have a lot of favelas too. So do you have the Cristo Redeemer, and we have a lot of beaches. So praias, and in Rio we have all the Brazil, it's a poor country. So, but the Rio, it's how can I say that in English? We have a lot of poor people and a lot of rich people in Rio. So, in the south of Rio, you can see beach with a lot of tourists, and you can see the favelas nearby, like the Rocinha and the beaches have a lot of natures. So, Brazil, we have 5 or 6 types of natures. We have deserts, we have forests, and in Brazil we have 2 types of forest: the Amazon forest, and we have the Mata Atlântica. It's a native type of forest from Brazil, and they grow in the coast of Brazil. All the coast have this type of forest. It's a unique type of forest. It's different from the Amazon forest, and you can see him in Rio. We have a lot of native animals from here. Like, I don't know if you know, we have a little monkey called mico-leão dourado. It's a native animal from Rio and the Mata Atlântica. And we have a lot of native animals like capybaras, and you can see all these animals walking here. Like I don't know how to say that in English, but we have a lot of araras. The animal, not the city, because we have a city called Arara. Like this, and on the left, it's like it have all the colors of the Brazilian flag. So it's a very pretty animal. You can see him flying in Rio.
It's like a parrot, but
it's a kind of parrot. We have a lot of them, and all they are very colorful.
So it is found in which area?
We have these animals in the Amazon forest, but we have in the Mata Atlântica too. It's the native forest of here. We have the very famous capybaras. I don't know if you know the capybara.
What is that?
It's like a mouse, but they have a size of a dog.
Oh.
It's a very big animal, and they are very cute. It's the biggest mouse in the world. I don't know how to say the species in English. In Portuguese we call it roedor. And when I go to the university, I saw a lot of them walking the street.
So it is very common in your place, right? Where you live?
Yes, very common.
Okay, just like we see dog and cat.
Not that much, but it's a common animal.
So talking about the rainforest, the Amazon rainforest, it is often referred as the lung of the earth. So can you shed some light on the significance of the Amazon rainforest to Brazil and the world?
The Amazon is very important to us because they have a lot of water. It's the biggest forest in the world. They have a lot of water. It's the biggest water reservoir in the world. And it's very important to a lot of things for us, like to cultivate. We are a farmer country, so we produce a lot of food for all around the world. The biggest consumer of the Brazilian food is the China. We sell a lot of food for China. Principally, we sell it grains like corn and other things like I don't know how to say soja in English, but Brazil produce a lot of soja, and we need this water from the Amazon forest to produce to make it work all the Brazilian economy. And we produce a lot of things from Amazon. It's very important to the climate. In Brazil, it's a place who rains a lot. These rains are very important to all the Brazil because we have a lot of plantations. So the Amazon is very important in this situation. We have a lot of animal diversity in this forest too. But I never traveled to this place, so I don't know too much. We have a lot of fruits. We have very famous food from the part of Amazon, and we call it acai. Acai is a fruit, and they don't have sweet taste. They don't have a sweet taste, so it's almost like a avocado. I don't know if you ever taste avocado.
Yeah, I tasted.
So avocado you can make like sweet or salty. So like the Spanish countries, they have the guacamole, and the guacamole it's a salty version. But in Brazil, we have the sweet version of avocado. We can make vitamins and other things. But in Brazil, we have the acai, and the acai, we can make the both too. We can make salty and sweety foods. Like, I'm gonna send you a picture. This is like an ice cream made from acai. It's very great.
Oh.
We can make this like these sundaes, and it's very good. But we have the salty version of the ham. It's not common in Rio to taste the salty version, but it's common to find this in Pará. It's a state from Brazil. It's in the north, in Amazon. In Pará, you can find the salty version. It's like a soup. You can eat the acai with meat and like fish and salad. They made like paste of beans. I don't know. In Amazon, they have a lot of fish. The most common is the pacu, I think. They have a lot of soups too. It's very famous in Brazil, but it's hard to find. And his name is Tacaca. Tacaca. It's a soup made of one specific plant of Amazon and shrimps. This soup is funny because this is made from a plant. I don't know how to say that in English, but you can feel your tongue.
That's
like in the it's like when you're gonna go to the surgery and you need to don't feel the pain, so they inject in you anesthesia.
Anesthesia, yeah.
So that plant anesthesia your tongue, so you can feel it when you eat the soup.
That's interesting. I mean, why would somebody want to, if they do not feel their tongue, so why they would like to eat this?
Oh, I never tasted that soup because I never found it to eat. Persons who live in this place love it. They say that you don't feel pain in your tongue, but the taste is very good.
Okay, that's interesting.
They have a lot of. I'm gonna send you another picture. They have pato no tucupi. It's another typical food from Amazonia. It's duck. They do duck with tacaca, so it's duck with this soup. And they have a lot of fishes, but I don't know the name of the fishes because I never traveled to this area. They have a lot of fruits. It's a very unique fruit. You only find these fruits in the middle of the forest, so it's very specific.
So the name which you mentioned, it is found in Amazon rainforest, right? It is a famous there.
Yes. We have a fruit from Amazon forest called Guarana. It's a very funny fruit because he looks like an eye.
Yeah, man, it looks like an eye, yeah.
And it's very, very, very sweet fruit. So we take to do some like Coca-Cola. We have one from Brazil called Guarana. It's
a beverage.
Yes. It's very sweet and it's very good too. It's famous in all around the Brazil. It's I don't know how to say that in English. Not indigenous.
Indigenous.
Yes, it's a typical fruit from them.
Okay, it's look interesting.
Some of drinks in Brazil have this fruit. We mix it with energizers and drink it. We have a lot of mixes with acai and guarana. We have beer. We have energetic. Like, do you know the energetic called Monster?
Energetic drink.
Yes. In Brazil, we have a Monster with the taste of guarana. Guarana, it's a word.
The word is stemmed from the native immigrants, right?
Yes, this word is from the natives. And a lot of animal names and foods names, it's from the Native Americans. So we have in Brazil one who we love it. It's called Aipim. It's I don't know how to say that. It's a food like potato. He grow in the ground. In Portuguese, the Brazilian natives call it mandioca. It's like a potato, but the taste is very different. You can make sweet for make candies, but we normally eat them with salt. You take the brown layer off, just get the white part, cut it, and put the boil water. So this pasta will be very soft, so you can eat it with butter or with meat. The most famous food in Brazil, we call it farofa, and it's a pounder you put in your food. It's like in this Yoki package, you say traditional, the number one, Brazil, you make with meat. It's perfect with everything. You can mix with solid, you can mix it with eggs, with meat.
Oh.
Actually, can use it like wheat flour. We can use this mandioca. From cook, it's the same. You can drill and make cakes, bread, can make everything. In Brazil, we have a lot of snacks made from this.
So what's your
Normally,
favorite?
I love it, Aipim, because it's very versatile. We can make breads, farofa, we can make this French fry version.
It's made using the farofa, right?
Yes, we use farofa for a lot of things. We normally, when we the dinner or the lunch, we normally put farofa in everything. It's good with everything.
Okay, so farofa is made out of the cassava, which is just like a potatoes.
Yes, you take the mandioca, you crush them in the powder, and this powder you put in the oven, and you dry it, you toast it, you make farofa. But we don't do this in Brazil. We normally buy it in bags.
Yeah. So it is a major food from your country, right?
Yes.
So you made dishes from farofa and you eat with rice, right? You eat rice usually in Brazil?
Yes, in Brazil we love it rice. We have a common recipe for dinner and the lunch. We always eat rice and bean. You only change the meat or the salad. It's very common in all the Brazil we eat this. Sometimes we change it because it's necessary. You don't resist to eat this for every time. So sometimes we change it. Maybe you can eat a couscous. It's made from corn powder. It's a very common recipe. It's a very common recipe in the north of Brazil. You can mix it with eggs or butter, eat it. So you can change it with the rice. Sometimes you can take off the rice and just eat the beans. We call it feijoada. It's very famous in Rio. It's like a touristical food. Like these pictures I send you to. You have farofa, you have the salad, you have the mandioca, the aipim, and you have the feijoada. It's the beans with pig. Do you have bacon?
Okay, moving on. What are some traditional festival or celebrations celebrated in Brazil?
The most famous in Rio is the Carnival. It's
Carnival is very famous. Yeah.
Yes, it's the most one. in February we have the Carnival, and the Rio stop it to this. So it's 3 weeks of Carnival here.
Oh.
And every place you go to, you see person with mask and dressed and dancing and a lot of samba. It's a typical music. And drinking and doing carnival things. In Rio, we have the New Year. We have in the beaches of Copacabana special burn of fireworks. Have a lot of tourists to see the fireworks.
Okay, this is beautiful.
Yes, it's very expensive too. They put like 12 or 20 boats the ocean loaded with a lot of fireworks, and it's like 30 minutes of fireworks. If you see, you can see the boats below the fireworks.
So any other festival you would like to mention here to our listener?
We in Brazil, we have one. It's not typical from Rio. It's typical to other states of Brazil, called Minas Gerais. And this festival is called Festa Junina. It's a typical festival of June, the month June. And it's like a party. It's like a commemoration of the farmers. I don't know how to say that.
Usually farmers celebrate this festival.
Yes.
Festa Junia.
Yes.
Juliana.
Yes. So we live in cities. So normally in June we travel to farms. We travel to cities next to farms to participate this festival. And they have a lot of typical foods and a lot of typical musics and dancing, typical dances. And we call it this festival Festa Junina. I like it because they have a lot of food, and these foods is very unique. So we don't have this food all the year, only in this festival. I gonna send you some pictures of food. The most famous is the pamonha. And they have in the other countries. In Spanish, his name is tamal. It's made from corn and it's sweet. We have paçoca. It's made from peanuts. It's a sweet peanut. We have pé de moleque. It's funny because pé in Portuguese is feet. Moleque it's boy. Like it's the name of this candy. It's feet boy. Like the feet of one boy.
It is also made from peanut, right?
Yes.
Here in India, we call this chikibar.
Chikibar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have a lot of foods made from peanuts and corn in this festival. And we dance it. So if you search in Google, in YouTube for música, it's music in Portuguese, música de Festa Junina, gonna find a world from music. It's very. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you one song. It's the most famous.
Yeah. Okay. I will attach this in the description so our listener can check it out.
Of course.
By themselves.
Of course.
Yeah.
And we have a typical dancing in this festival. We call it quadrilha. So boys and girls put their vest, the event, and dance the quadrilha. It's very pretty and it's very colorful.
So talking about the dance, any other dance you like to mention to our listener?
In Brazil, we have a lot of dance. Normally, every state of Brazil have a specific dance. So and a specific music. Like in Rio, where I live it, the normal one it's the samba. I don't know if you know what is this. Do you know what is samba?
Yeah, I heard about samba.
Samba, it's one style of music, and you have a specific type of dance. But in the north, like in the Amazon, we have other types of musics and other types of dance. In the Northeast, we have a lot of types of dances and musics. The most famous is the forró.
Bossa Nova?
Bossa Nova, it's old. It's old in Brazil, but yes, it's from here, the Rio. Very famous in Rio. Forró, it's actually today, it's very famous. And funk in Brazil, in Rio, we have funk. It's very famous. Axé. Axé, actually, it's a music type from Carnival. We have the subgenres of forró. It's very funny to see because they dance with umbrellas. It's frevo.
The colorful umbrella.
Yes, you do a lot of jumps and dancing. It's funny.
Interesting.
So frevo, it's from Carnival too, but it's normal only in the north. In the south, we have the sertanejo. It's like the country from the USA. Sertanejo it's a very common in the farms.
The cowboy style.
Yes, it's the cowboy style.
Moving on. So Arley, do you like traveling?
Yes, I like it. I travel when I was a child. I traveled to other states in Brazil. My family is from other state. Is native from. My father is from Bahia, and my mother is from Ceara. Both are in the north. I traveled to Bahia. Mama is from Ceara. Both are in the north of Brazil. It's a very different place. In Bahia, it's a other type of nature. It's a desert. So we have a lot of
cactus.
Yes, we have a lot of sand and cactus. And I born in a forest. So I born in Rio. We have a lot of forest and water.
Yeah.
Where my father lives, it's very dry and.
So to our listener, could you recommend any famous places within your country that you would like to visit?
So in the north, the most famous states to visit is the Pará. In Pará, they have a lot of foods, so you can taste them only in this place, and you can see the Amazon forest. In the Northeast, we have a lot of culture. It's a very unique culture. They own accent. Every state in Brazil have his own accent. I have my own accent. People who born in São Paulo have other accent. People who born in Amazon have other accent.
Different accent of Portuguese, right? You say the Portuguese differently than other part of the Brazil, right?
Yes. Actually, in Brazil, we know where you from because of your accent.
Yep.
Every state have his own accent. In Ceara, you can visit the hot water beaches. In the south, we have the cold water beaches. Like you can visit the state of Piauí. Piauí, it's a very pretty state to visit. Place to have sand, a lot of sand, like in a small desert. So you can drive in jeeps. The water, it's hot, not very hot. It's like the normal temperature of body, so it's comfortable to dive in this place. So you can swim and see the fishes and the coral. Other place to visit is where my father born it in Bahia. It's where one type of fight it's created. We call it capoeira. Capoeira, it's one type of fight.
Oh, just like martial arts?
Yes, created by the slavery time by the slaves. It's a unique type of fight, and it's born in Bahia. And when you travel to Bahia, you can see the people in practicing capoeira in the parks. It's funny to see, and it's cool to see the dance and the musics from this art.
It's like karate kung fu, right?
Yes,
Hmm.
kind of.
Interesting. Yeah.
And Bahia have one place very famous called Pelourinho. Pelourinho is one village, Bahia. Do you know Michael Jackson?
Yeah, of course.
He made a song in Pelourinho.
I remember
I don't know.
that.
Yes, it's They Don't Care About Us.
They don't care about us. Yeah. Yeah.
This music is made in Bahia. They have one band. It's very famous in Bahia. They call it OLODUM, and they sing with Michael Jackson.
Interesting. OLODUM. I remember Michael Jackson also used this logo in his chart while dancing on that song.
Yes, they OLODUM have these colors.
Are they still active, that band?
Yes, they make songs today, but not for internet. Maybe you can search in social media if you find them. They are actually, how can I say that, NGO?
For the social service.
Yes, they are actually a social service band. So they take boys in street situation and put in the band to learn how to play the instrument.
Interesting.
They play in the events like the Carnival. You can see the OLODUM playing the song. So Bahia have a lot of food and places to visit. The most famous is the Elevador Lacerda. When you travel to the southwest, you have the Rio de Janeiro. We have a lot of radical activity. I don't know how to say that. Like you can jump parachute. I traveled to. I'm gonna send you one picture of mine. Let me find him. This is me in the pandemic time making rappel.
Oh.
We have a lot of places to rappel here. Because we have a lot of mountains. And the name of this place, Pedra da Gávea.
Okay, so it is in the Rio, right?
Yes, this is in Rio to the ocean. It's because it's very cloudy, but in the background is the ocean.
So talking about the places, so how is Brasilia?
I have friends from Brasilia. It's very dry place, so if you travel to Brasilia, you need a lot of water because it's a very dry place.
Okay, talking about the dryness, how's the typical weather in your?
Very, very hot here. Very hot. It's like painful hot.
Yeah, I can relate to it.
The last summer we hit 2 days consecutive of records of high temperature, 54 degrees Celsius.
Oh,
for 2 days.
In Rio?
Yes.
Oh man.
But in almost all this picture is mine. It's from Rio. This is where I live now. This place is the next to where I live now. This place is the Museu do Amanhã. The translation is like the Tomorrow Museum. It's a very painful to walk in the street in the summer because it's very hot here.
And what about the winter? What is the lowest temperature? You remember?
It's not too low. It's like 20 degrees in the winter.
So in Brasilia, it's also same temperature, right? As Rio? I mean, in winter and summer also.
The hottest place in Brazil are Rio and the northeast, like Bahia, Ceará, Piauí. The south and the center, it's in the Amazon, more pleasurable, like cold. Actually, in the south of Brazil, we have winter, summer.
Oh.
And we have in one place of Rio snow in the summer because we have a lot of mountains. And we have one mountain in Rio. It's so tall. In the top of this mountain, we have snow in the winter. We have one city in Rio, and in this city we have this mountain. We call it this place Cidade Imperial. It's Imperial City. When the Brazil is discovered by the Portuguese people, the Portugal, we are not a country. we are colony.
They colonize
Yes,
you.
they colonize us. Imperial family from Portugal live in the city in Rio. Because of that, we call it city, imperial city, or cidade imperial.
Oh.
And this place snows in the winter. It's very cold.
Okay. So in that part of the Rio, usually in summer also you feel like winter
Because it's a very city.
high altitude.
Yeah, high altitude place.
But in the south of Brazil, near Uruguay, you kind of feel winter all on the year, right?
In south, we don't have a lot of mountains, but it's very cold because it's next to the South Pole.
Near to the South Pole, yeah.
In the south, we have the gaúcho. It's a type of culture from this place. And this culture is common from Argentina and Uruguay. Actually, the people who live there speak other language too. They speak German too, because the south of Brazil it's a German colony.
Oh.
This place we have European culture and other types of culture, other types of food. I never traveled to this place. I have friends from south, but I never go to south.
So moving on, if you have a chance to visit any other country other than yours, where you like to go?
It's Russia and Japan. It's a culture very different of mine. I have friends in Russia. I speak a little bit of Russian. So
interesting. Okay, moving on. So Arley, what comes to your mind when you hear India?
Actually, a lot of things. Principally technology. No, I know that India have a lot of research in my area. I'm studying chemistry, and I know that India have a lot of studies in chemistry industry area, like new fusion reactors and a lot of technology. When I search in MIT Institute, do have a lot of teachers from India. Other things India is very famous is all the language and the culture, the religion, the food. I have 2 or 3 teachers in my institute, in the chemistry engineering institute,
the university
from India.
Yep. So, Arley, according to you, what do people of Brazil think about India?
Actually, the students of Brazil knows India will grow very fast like China because they are doing a lot of research in a lot of areas to grow, to industrialize the country, and the expectative to jump the technology and the economy in the next few years. And maybe it's the main enemy for China. 10 years in the future, the biggest countries, biggest countries in the world will be USA, China, and India. The Brazil have the expectative to grow too because we have a lot of space, technology, and minerals and space to farms.
Yeah. So, Arley, if you could travel back in time, what period in Brazilian history would you like to experience?
Maybe the generation of Vargas. Vargas is the president of Brazil in the World War II, Second World War, and he make a lot of change in Brazil. The Brazil in this epoch is the country in the world who is growing faster than China. We build a lot of industry in Brazil and grow the economy a lot.
Vargas. So why do you want to visit the era of Vargas?
So because the Vargas era is the gold age of Brazil. So it's called in Brazil like the rich age. He created a lot of good things in Brazil. His government built a lot of industries in Brazil. He built a lot of laws to protect the workers. And it's very, very good epic to my area, like the chemical industry. It's very good epic. And I born in a poor epic.
But there is a section of people who also had Vargas, right?
Yes, actually, all the Brazilians like the era of Vargas because we know it. He built a lot of things, good things to Brazil in his epic. For someone, they are a dictator because actually he is. They are not good for the people. Only few things, like small things, they create assistance to the poor people. Like I just studied in the Federal University because of them. They create separate exam for the students from public schools, and I can get in the federal university because of them. But all the other things, they are not very good to us. Like the actual government, we have a lot of corruption. The corruption is so big, we can see them. In Rio, it's very, very, very common. The last 5 government of Rio are in jail because of robbery.
Oh, what do you think about the current president of your country?
Lula is a very smart president, but he is like small powers evil because he lies to people. They know he's lying. They lies because it's important for him to have power. Like, I don't know how to say that, but a few years ago, the last time the Lula is the president, after Dilma, after Bolsonaro, after Temer, Lula say some things like, oh, the price of the dollar is not important to us because we don't eat dollar. And this is lie because we eat dollar. The economy of Brazil depends of the dollar price. Because, one example, Brazil is a very big place, very big country. And to move the food from the farms to the cities and to the other countries, we use trucks. We don't have with locomotive. We don't have train. We only use trucks, and the trucks use diesel. And we don't produce the diesel, so we need to buy the international market. So we buy using dollar. So when the dollar grows, price of everything in Brazil grows. Actually, the food double the price.
The inflation.
Because yes, so it's very important in Brazil to don't grow the dollar price comparative to their own coin of Brazil, the real. And Lula say, no, this is it's lie. The dollar don't make difference to us, but it's lie. We know that. We call it in Brazil populista. The Lula is populista.
What does that mean?
Populist, it's one president who say what we want to hear, not what he is really think. So he always agree with us, but when they need to do act, they don't do what we want. He do what he thinks it's right, but he always say what we want to hear. We call it this populism. So when the Lula is making his campaign, he say to population, oh, I gonna turn down the prices. I gonna grow the salary payment for everyone. And everyone's voting Lula because of this. And when he's in the power, he don't do this. We have the same problem with Bolsonaro and the other president. They all them do this.
What do you think? What is the biggest challenge facing Brazil today?
The political war of Brazil, from the left and the right politicals, the population polarity.
People are confused to who to vote.
50% of Brazil it's agree with the left and 50% agrees with the right. And this is a big problem because in the streets we are having fights, literally fights in the streets. The last things we happen here in Brasilia, it looks like in the USA when the Trump votations army, like I don't know how to say that.
The capital
The
situation.
capital we have
surrounded in the capital because of the Trump.
Exactly. We have in Brasilia the same. I'm gonna send you the video. They do exactly the same of the Trump army. They invade the building and broke and
Your parliament.
shoot. Yes, the president need to be scouted of the building invasion of the building because of they don't agree with the left position. Like the form of they see the world to the problems, it's very different by these two sides. And they don't agree with each other, and they don't want to agree with each other. They prefer to fight.
Yeah. So Arley, Brazil is renowned for its significant production and use of ethanol as a biofuel. So,
Yes.
could you tell about the ethanol situation in the Brazil?
Brazil was the first place to build cars moved by ethanol. It's because we are a tropical place, so it's a very hot, and the ethanol it's a very good option to move a lot of vehicles. So we can change the gasoline by ethanol, and we produce a lot of ethanol in Brazil. I can say that because I work with this area. So actually, I work with industrial chemistry. So actually, you can use ethanol in all places in the world. You have difficulty to use ethanol in cold places like Europe in the winter, because ethanol don't burn in the low temperatures like gasoline. But it's very easy to use ethanol in the Brazil because here it's very hot. Principally, in the summer it's very hot. So it's very easy to use in Brazil, and we are the largest producer of ethanol in the South America. I don't know if we are the largest producer in America because we are the neighbors of the USA, and they are the largest producer in the world of almost everything. In Brazil today, almost every car is flex fuel. So they use gasoline or ethanol, and ethanol is cheapest. So almost everything use alcohol. This vehicle.
So in typical gas station, the petrol station, you will get the ethanol, right? In every petrol station, it is blended with the gasoline.
It's extreme common. If you can travel around Brazil, you will find in gas station ethanol. It's the normal. It's normal by 10 years ago. It's normal.
So how much is a liter of ethanol cost?
I don't know because I don't have a car, but it's like the half of price of gasoline.
Half of the price of gasoline.
Today, gasolina is like R$6 a liter. It's almost maybe $2 per liter.
Along with ethanol, you also get the pure gasoline also in the petrol station. Or ethanol is the only thing which is available in the gas station.
No, you have a lot of options. Okay. Do you have the pure ethanol? Do you have the pure gasoline? Do you have a mixture? It's the cheapest than pure gasoline.
Interesting.
And the law have limits to the mix. You can mix like 50-50. The normal mixture is 50% ethanol and the rest of gasoline. And it's very cheap to buy only ethanol.
Yeah. So for those who are not familiar with ethanol, could you define what is ethanol?
Ethanol, it's a fuel made in Brazil by saccharoses made from sugarcane. We produce in Brazil a lot of sugarcane. It's the largest production of sugarcane in the world.
Yep.
And we can take the syrup, the sweet of the sugarcane, do fermentation to produce ethanol. And ethanol it's an inflammable liquid. So if you are very pure, you can use it in a car. It's very similar to gasoline. You don't need to do a lot of changes in the motor to running alcohol. And it's very useful for a lot of things. And the best things of ethanol, it's not a fuel made of fossil
oil. Yeah.
Yes, it's not made of fossil oil.
Yeah.
So when you burn alcohol, actually you are not changing the CO2 gas in the atmosphere, because when you plant the sugarcane, he robs the CO2 of the atmosphere.
Because sugarcane is not, the ethanol is not a fossil fuel. Yeah.
Yes, so it's sustainable.
Yeah. The thing which is downside of the ethanol production is that, the disadvantage of the ethanol production is that it needs lots of water.
This is not a problem for Brazil because we have the largest production of water in the world, principally
Amazon
because
rainforest.
of the Amazon. Yes, we have a lot of water here. This is not a problem to us, but yes, he lost a lot of water to produce. And the other problem is because the car don't turn on when you are the winter.
Yeah, that is the major caveat.
Yes, ethanol don't burn in low temperature. So if you are in the snow, the car don't start.
Yeah.
This is not a problem in Rio. In the winter, we are 20 degrees Celsius. So
yeah. In India also, we are rapidly increasing our ethanol blending. We will
Mm-hmm.
see our country is inclined toward the ethanol.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
For me too.
yeah. Okay. So
And this is new in India or it's old?
I don't see that much ethanol here in our country, but the government blending the ethanol in the fuel by itself. We do not have any other option. I mean, non-ethanol and with ethanol, there is no option to us. I mean, that is not common here. Maybe in
Uh-huh,
some part
uh-huh.
of the India, there we will get either ethanol or not, but most of the time you will not see that other option.
Actually, the ethanol is powerful than gasoline,
Hmm.
but the mix makes some problems in the car
Yeah,
with
the
clogs
cars,
and things
the
like that.
engines should design that ways to handle the ethanol.
Mm-hmm. You need to some changes in the motor to run it
Yeah.
out ethanol.
Yeah. So most of the vehicles run today in India, they are not compatible with the ethanol that much. So they slowly
Uh-huh.
blending the ethanol gradually. If you buy a new vehicle today in India, that vehicle is more compatible with ethanol than the older vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the same in Brazil,
Yeah.
but the Brazil adopted this after 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So today every vehicle in Brazil accepts ethanol.
Yeah. That is a very interesting thing about your country. You are all gone to the ethanol thing, which is very good for the environment also.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's because we have a lot of
Yeah.
plantations of sugarcane tree.
Yeah. But ultimately, the electric vehicle will replace the ethanol vehicle eventually.
Yes,
Yeah.
eventually.
Yep.
Maybe I don't know. In my universities, they don't like the electrical vehicles because they say you only move the gas, the CO2 gas production to the energy factory.
Hmm.
They burn diesel fuel to produce electricity to
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's electricity which produced today is not fully
green. Yes,
green. Yeah, that's the problem. Indirectly,
and
you are doing the same thing.
exactly. The ethanol is naturally not fossil.
Fossil. Yeah,
Fossil.
yeah. So, how's the EV situation in your country?
We see electrical vehicles more and more every day.
Hmm.
And at my street, every day I see 2 or 3 electrical vehicles.
Hmm. So early. What are the most popular career options or educational program that you observe in your surrounding?
The most famous is the medicine. Looks like every teenager in Brazil wants to be doctors. It's funny because when they are formed, they don't want to work with in hospitals because they don't like this. But it's
Hmm.
the hardest course to get in the university.
Hmm.
So they want this. I don't understand why, but it's funny.
Hmm. Hmm.
The other course to hard to get in is the engineering. Do you have a lot of competitors to get in the engineering?
Hmm.
But this is not very smart or good because a lot of engineers are unemployed in Brazil
Hmm.
because all industries move to China. Maybe it's the same in India, I don't know.
Yeah, that is also one of the biggest challenge in any developing country.
Yes.
So moving on. So early. How do young people in your country view entrepreneurship?
It's very hard, very hard. The
Hmm.
government they don't like this, so you have a lot of tax pay when you want business.
Hmm.
We have a lot of taxes and bureaucracies to create and work every day in this type of
So basically, you are saying that your government is not encouraging young people to start their own business. They were,
exactly. The most part of Brazilians want to do one thing, work study to work in the government.
they want to work in government job.
Yes, because they can't employ you.
Hmm.
They
The
can't
government job.
they can't dismiss you.
Hmm. That
The
easily.
the law yes the law don't permit this.
So, Atle, what are some of the most exciting startup company from your country that you find exciting and promising? Okay, okay.
Actually, we don't have much, but we have these high big companies.
Hmm.
The Braskem and the Petrobras, the
Hmm.
biggest one. But the small companies we don't have actually because the government don't like them.
Hmm. So, Arle, according to your perspective, what are the most popular smartphone brands in your country?
Actually, smartphones is very very expensive in Brazil because we pay 50% of tax on them. So
the input
like
duty.
yes,
Oh.
it's very very expensive in Brazil. The minimum salary in Brazil it's like a meal. I'm gonna write to you. This is the minimum salary in Brazil today.
Oh,
We call it real. It's the coin of Brazil. Real.
Yeah, it's a real, right? Real.
Yes, real.
Yeah.
And the iPhone cost this in Brazil. The last iPhone. It's like 10 times. 10 times the price. It's very, very, very expensive. So normally we buy Androids. It's very cheap, like the Samsung, Motorola, and the others.
They're expensive.
Yes, only the richest.
What are some popular websites or online platforms commonly used in your country?
The Brazilians use a lot of Spotify, and in the Spotify, the most popular songs are funks and traps, actually, today.
And what about the e-commerce, the popular e-commerce website?
The Amazon is very famous. We have the Chinese version, like the Shopee and AliExpress.
AliExpress. And what about the food delivery, like Uber Eats?
Uber Eats, it's not very famous in Brazil. The most famous is the iFood.
iFood.
Yes.
And what about the most popular taxi hailing app like Uber? Is it Uber is popular?
Yes, but we have others in Brazil. And they have so famous too. BlaBlaCar, Uber. We have the 99 Taxi.
99 Taxi. And what about the social media? Which is most popular?
Actually, it's the Instagram.
So Arley, can you name any of your favorite YouTube channel from your country?
So I like science. So my favorite is Manual do Mundo. The translation is Manual of the World. And I like other. It's like the adult version of Manual do Mundo. It's called Letra J. They do a lot of experiments, but it's very dangerous experiments. But I like them.
So they speak in Portuguese, right?
Yes. The Manual do Mundo is a very, very famous thing. They do videos in English too.
So Arley, what are some misconceptions or stereotypes about your country that you would like to address?
So the most famous stereotype of Brazilian are the women with with bikinis in the beaches, dancing samba in the carnival, and the boys playing football in the beaches, like Neymar and Pelé. I don't like this stereotype because I don't play football. I don't like football.
You don't like football?
Yes.
Oh.
I don't watch football. But all my family watches. It's just a thing of mine.
Football is a religion in Brazil.
Yes, it's almost a religion. The people in the streets fight because of football.
So what is the meaning of Brazil, if you could say?
I know the historical name. The original name of this land by the American natives is Pindorama Tupi. It's the original name of Brazil. But after this, Brazil, it's called Brazil because of the one type of wood, one type of tree who only grows in Brazil, called pau Brasil. It's a very famous tree because the resin inside this tree, it's red like fire, red like rays. So they call it Brazil because of this tree. Because at the time of colony in Brazil, we have a lot of these trees, all the territory.
And what about your flag? The center of the circle, is it referred to a football or something else?
No. The flag, it's because of the imperial family, the colony family, the family from Portugal. If I send to you a picture of the flag of the royal family, I'm gonna send you this. I send you a picture of the tree, the pau Brasil. You can see the resin. It's use it to make red ink. It's the most expensive ink to royal family. And the flag, it's because of the imperial family.
Hmm.
If you watch it, it's very, very similar to Brazilian flag.
Okay. So we are talking about the football. Brazil is incomplete without we talk about the football. So, so can you tell us about the passion and energy surrounding football matches in Brazil?
Football for Brazilian people, it's very important because for the young boys, it's a chance to be rich.
Hmm.
If you are good in football in Brazil, you can go in a big football team and receive a lot of money for this. And the Brazil is a poor country, so everyone wants to be rich. So every boy in Brazil play football because they want to prove they are good in football and want to show the football teams they are good and want to be way employed by these teams.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a social thing. Like every person in Brazil play football at the teenager age to try be rich easily.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I try
interesting.
it, but I am very bad playing soccer. So
Mhm. So what else is popular apart from the football?
actually volleyball,
Volleyball. Hmm.
it's very famous in Brazil.
Hmm.
We play in the beaches. If you travel to every beach in Brazil, you're gonna see people playing volleyball in the beaches.
Hmm. So early. What are the best piece of advice you ever received?
Advice,
Yeah. Yeah.
actually, you don't gonna like it. The most famous advice in Rio is be careful.
Be
The
careful.
street is very dangerous.
In dangerous in what regard? The political instability is going through in the country because of that, or what?
Uh, no, the street at night is very dangerous.
Oh,
Violence.
the violence. Hmm. Okay. Earlier, Rio was the capital of your country, right? Later, it Brasilia.
Yes, the first capital of Brazil was Bahia
Mm-hmm.
because they discovered Brazil and Bahia. The
Mm-hmm.
first the first place who the Portugal people tap on was in Bahia. Brazil was discovered by them, Bahia.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first capital was Bahia, and some time before the it's passed to Rio,
Mm-hmm.
and in the 80s, I think they
Mm-hmm.
changed it to Brasilia.
Mm-hmm.
Brasilia, it's a artificial city. Actually, all the place was built.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that place was built. They don't have rivers. They don't have big things to grow. Everything in the Brasilia is artificial.
Okay, it is a plant city.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm. Interesting.
It's strategically in the middle of the Brazil because it's hard to get in. It's hard
Hmm.
to hit the capital. Some war or things like that. It's hard
Oh. Oh, because of
to
that
get in.
reason, they shifted your capital to Brasilia. They created a new city and they moved your capital there.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm. So, Arley, that's the end of the podcast. Any final thought?
Thank you so much, Suri, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Arley. Did you enjoy the podcast?
Yes, I am happy to participate. Thank you.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, could you kindly ask our listener to subscribe to the Billion Insights?
Of course. And guys, please subscribe in the channel, the Billion Sites channel. Okay.
And could you please say that in Portuguese?
Okay, of course. Pessoal, por favor, se inscrevam no canal The Billion Insights. Um canal bem legal de podcasts aí com pessoas do mundo inteiro.
Thank you, Arley. Thank you so much for talking with us today and sharing your experience. We wish you all
You
the
are
best.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you. We wish you all the best for your future. To our listener, thank you for tuning into the Billion Insight podcast. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes, and until next time, dream big and work hard. This is Sri signing out. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.